At 7, an update on Pope Francis in the hospital in Rome with a lung infection.
And the two men hoping to be Chicago's next mayor try to court undecided voters before next Tuesday's election.
And a live look from Wrigley Field, where the Cubs play their season opener at home today against the Milwaukee Brewers. The Sox open their season on the road tonight in Houston. The news at 7 starts streaming now.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Val Warner, and look who's in today.
You know what? I'm so happy to be back. I'm Mark Rivera in for Terrell Brown on this 30th day of March. I can't believe that it's already the end of the month. Can you believe that? This year's been going by so quickly.
You said the date out loud, and I was like, oh, it's my brother's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday to your brother.
Yeah, I was like, March 30th. That sounds
that's
like
awesome.
an important date. Yeah. Temperatures.
Oh, watching you.
I'm not going to sing, not on TV. Temperatures out there in the 20s, so it is a cold start to the day. Oaklawn at 28, Waukegan at 30 degrees, Naperville at 28, Coal City 29, Gary at 27 degrees. For the home opener today, we are looking at temperatures to be in the 40s. Our inland spots are going to be in the 50s, but because we have wind coming in here from the lake, temperatures are going to be chilly into the low and mid 40s. And really, it's the little bit of a breeze that we have around. That is what's going to make it feel cold here. It's cloudy and we could have a few sprinkles throughout the game, but I do think initially we might have a little bit of sun. Right now we have a little bit of sun, and then the clouds increase throughout most of the day today. And then for the day tomorrow, we're talking an AccuWeather alert day. It is a day to be weather aware. We have the chance to have severe storms. With these severe storms, it is possible we have damaging wind gusts, hail, and also the chance for tornadoes. Roz?
We are looking at 40 to 50-minute travel times on most of your inbound expressways, and that's kind of the norm these days. We've got a couple suburban crashes. This is new, Hanover Park, County Farm Road, and Schick. We've got one still being cleared up in Bartlett on Stearns at Newport. That's just a little bit west of County Farm Road. And if you are going to be going to the Cubs home opener today at Wrigley, you want to take public transportation. Chopper 7's over Wrigley. It looks nice and calm right now, but yeah, take the red line, take a 152 or 80 bus, and then you don't have to deal with any of the traffic that I guarantee you is going to be around there later on today. Val and Mark.
Having covered opening day, yes, it is going to be packed. And this broke overnight, too. Casualties are being reported from a crash involving 2 Army helicopters. The Blackhawks were with the 101st Airborne Division. The helicopters went down in a rural field near Kentucky and the Tennessee state line.
A breaking news update from Chicago. One person has died after this high-speed crash involving several vehicles. 5 people were hurt in the crash last night. This happening at 83rd and Columbus. At least 4 vehicles were involved.
And we are 5 days away now from Chicago's runoff election, and the 2 candidates for mayor are busy trying to court undecided voters and get even more endorsements.
Christian Picos is live this morning at the voting super site at Clark and Lake with more on this. Christian, good morning.
Hey, Val and Mark, good morning to you both. Both Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson are in the final pushes of their campaign for mayor with less than a week until the runoff election day. That's April 4th. Now, Vallis and Johnson will meet once again at another runoff forum later this evening at the University of Chicago. Johnson is also rallying voters with Bernie Sanders tonight, while Vallis will be getting endorsed by Latino faith leaders later this morning. The next mayor will also have control of the massive $28 billion budget, covering police, fire, schools, public works, and more. Vallis says the budget can be balanced from within, and Johnson says it can only be done with new revenue.
I don't know if there's any other mayoral candidate in the history of Chicago that's been willing to put out a balanced budget plan before they're even elected.
I know how to manage multi-billion-dollar budgets, and the first order of business as mayor will be to go in and to look at those budgets holistically.
Both candidates also joined a discussion last night hosted by the Inner City Muslim Action Network to discuss their spiritual and social commitments to the city's south side. Now, many voters have already made up their minds before the election on April 4th. According to the Chicago Board of Elections, there have already been 139,000 votes cast for the next mayor. Back to you.
All right, Christian, thank you. For the first time in 8 years, Naperville will have a new mayor after next Tuesday's election. It is a tight race between Councilman Benny White, who is potentially Naperville's first black mayor, and longtime businessman Scott Verrill. That's according to the latest polling. Tiffany Stevens is also running for mayor after winning a court challenge to stay on the ballot. Current mayor Steve Chirico is not running for a third term.
ABC 7 will have complete coverage of next Tuesday's election, and our live coverage starts at 7 o'clock on abc7chicago.com and wherever you stream. Then join us here on Eyewitness News at 10 o'clock for a full wrap-up.
Breaking news, Russian authorities have reportedly arrested an American journalist with the Wall Street Journal on accusations of spying. Russia's state media says that reporter Evan Gershkovich is accused of collecting state secrets on behalf of the United States. He covers Russia and Ukraine for the Wall Street Journal. He is the first American reporter to be arrested in Russia since the Cold War.
The Vatican sharing good news this morning. The Vatican says Pope Francis rested well during his first night at the hospital. The 86-year-old is being treated for respiratory infection at the White House, in Rome. At the White House, President Biden sent his well wishes to the Pope. ABC's Em Nguyen joins us now live from Washington with more. Em.
Mark, good morning. The Vatican says Pope Francis is receiving treatment for an infection that is not COVID-19, adding he'll remain in a Rome hospital for at least several days. Overnight, Pope Francis hospitalized in Rome with a lung infection. The Vatican saying the 86-year-old had complained of respiratory difficulties and that the infection will require several days of appropriate hospital medical treatment. Just hours earlier, the Pope was seen smiling and kissing babies during his weekly audience. The health concerns perhaps more serious because as a young man, he had part of a lung removed after suffering pneumonia.
His age, prior lung conditions, and the lungs being involved in the infection, all of that should be taken seriously. And the fact that he's in a hospital for the appropriate supportive care that he needs is going to give him the best odds of pulling through.
Pope Francis has faced other health challenges. He now relies on a cane and wheelchair after a knee injury and has dealt with a colon condition after intestinal surgery in 2021. The faithful praying for him. I love him, I adore him, this woman says. We want Pope Francis to get better. And President Biden, a devout Catholic, wishing him the best.
The Pope is ill now, so say an extra prayer for him.
The Vatican saying the Pope is touched by the many messages received and expresses his gratitude for the closeness and prayer. And at the White House, President Biden called the Pope a good friend, saying he's concerned for his health. It's unclear for now if the Pope will attend any services for the upcoming Holy Week, which starts with Palm Sunday this weekend and then Easter a week later. Mark, Tanya.
Okay, thank you, Em. We appreciate it. And there was an emotional vigil last night for the 6 victims killed in the school shooting on Monday in Nashville, Tennessee. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden joined the mourners after visiting the memorial outside of the school to pay her respects. The 3 children killed at the Covenant School were 9-year-old Evelyn Dickhouse, Haley Scruggs, and William Kinney. The adults were substitute teacher Cynthia Peak, custodian Mike Hill, and the school's leader, Catherine Kuntz.
Our community will continue to mourn the broken innocence of the Covenant School children and those who were lost to us. And we will not forget them.
The motive for the shooting is not yet clear. Police say 28-year-old, the shooter there, Audrey Hale, did leave writings behind.
Back here at home, the FBI is releasing new photos in the search for a pair of armed robbers. These robbers targeted an armored truck in Calumet City. This happened Monday in the parking lot of a Big Lots on River Oaks Drive. Surveillance images show 2 suspects who investigators say pulled out weapons during the robbery. The FBI is asking anyone with information to come forward. A man is now facing charges after a bank robbery in Chicago's Loop earlier this month. A security guard was shot and wounded during that robbery at the Fifth Third Bank at Wacker and Madison. Prosecutors say Jawad Hakeem stole more than $23,000 from that bank. Hakeem was arrested in Waukegan. He is still being held in Lake County, Illinois.
The family of an 84-year-old woman killed in a crash involving a Chicago police cruiser has been awarded a nearly $5 million settlement. Verona Gunn was a passenger in the car that the unmarked police car collided with back in 2019. The officer who caused the crash was stripped of his police powers but was allowed to stay on the force. That crash was captured on surveillance video, which we've stopped in the moments before impact. 3 other people who were in the car also received money as part of the verdict.
Today, the Chicago City Council will hold a special meeting ahead of the runoff election. Some aldermen are pushing forward with a plan to reorganize the council's committee structure. They'll vote on a resolution to create new rules that aim to establish a strong and independent city council.
Baseball is back. The regular season starts today for both the Cubs and the White Sox.
That's right. Fans are excited for this year to come. The teams are starting with a clean slate. The White Sox will open their season on the road. They'll play the Astros in Houston tonight.
The Cubs will be right here at the friendly confines this afternoon. Wrigleyville once again packed with Cubs fans for the Northsiders home opener. Jessica D'Onofrio joins us now live from Wrigley Field with more. Jess, I know we just saw all of that food out there. You just made me so hungry, lady.
I know. I wish I could dig into all of this stuff, and we will get to the food in a minute. So hold on for a second. I am joined right now by Julian Green. He is the communications boss here at Cubs. And Julian, let's talk about opening day festivities first, and then we'll get to the food. Talk to us about what to expect.
Yeah, wait till everyone sees this amazing food display that's on this table.
Oh, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it.
But opening day, what better time to be at Wrigley Field than opening day? 40,000 of your best friends. We're all going to have a good time. 10,000 of those fans who get here early will get an opening day pin. But several new things. We'll talk about some of the food, but Small Cheval is opening here in the ballpark. Budweiser Neutral Zone in the right field terrace. New amenity where fans can hang out on the terrace, catch some sun. New concessions out there as well, and more bathrooms, which is always great. In the
oh, yeah, the bathrooms for sure. And the sports book, that's not open yet, but it will be.
It's not open yet. On top of the sports book is the new terrace, but the sports book probably will be open this summer, and we're excited about that. 23,000 square feet, and you don't have to have a ticket to come into the sports book and really enjoy. It's going to be a restaurant, just a kind of restaurant on steroids, and it's going to be a really great amenity for the fans and people in the neighborhood.
Talk to me about public transportation. People are going to want to take public transportation tonight.
Yeah, look, I've been watching your newscast all day, and that construction on the Kennedy is just a bear. And so coming here, we offer a variety of options. There's rideshare, Lyft and Uber. We're geo-fenced usually during the game, and so you got to check the app to make sure where you can pick up, typically on Addison and then on Irving Park. We have a free remote parking lot at 3900 North Rockwell, so it's free. You can take a free shuttle to get here 2 hours before the game, 1 hour after, and then we work with the CTA to provide transportation. You know, there's the red line. People can always take the
Lots of options. We have a minute to talk about food, so why don't we start closest to you? Garrett's Popcorn. Can't
miss Chicago favorite. Yeah, cheese, cheddar, you know, whatever you
mix
like.
And the combination.
Mix it up.
Coca-Cola's back.
Coca-Cola's back. That's pretty exciting after a number of years, and we're excited. We just announced that partnership this year, and so we have a variety of Coke products, too many to name.
Okay, we have got nachos in the corner.
Always good.
And we have, of course, we've got Chicago-style hot dogs.
Chicago-style's very own Vienna beef hot dogs, which is important.
Of course, Vienna beef. And then we've got this pretty cool, it's a burger.
Kind of a brat burger.
The burger's hiding in there.
Yeah.
And this is from Small Cheval. Small Cheval is now with the ballpark.
I had the Wagyu cheeseburger yesterday.
Oh,
it was
so
pretty amazing. Yes.
So good. Home Run Inn Pizza, a staple, right?
Absolutely.
There's a torta. And these are the bao buns, if you can see these bao buns over here. Yes. And then we've got those Greek fries. But wait
Greek
one second, they're telling me
with
the gyro meat on it. Exactly. Okay, they're telling me to wrap, but I got to show you guys. Okay. Val and Mark, oh my gosh.
Val, Mark, come on out, get some of this food. You gotta, looking for you. Haven't seen you guys at the ballpark in a while. So
I know.
Come on out, Val. Hang out with us.
Okay,
tell Julian we'll be there.
Right. Wait, what time does the game start, Julian?
1:20.
What time's the game start?
1:20.
1:20, Val. 1:20 is first pitch.
I'm going to have to pull Max out of school. I think this is a good reason to pull
Oh, it's absolutely
early, right?
a good reason for sure. All right.
Get out here.
Jess, everything looks so good. Thank you so much, and we'll catch up with you soon. Your live and local news is just getting started as we stream out loud this morning. Coming up.
Back outside we go this morning. It's going to be a cold day for that Cubs home opener. You just saw what Jessica had on out there. Heisel, can we take off any layers by the afternoon?
Probably not. But, I mean, temperatures are in the 20s right now. We do at least warm up a little bit here as we go through this afternoon. We'll have your Cubs home opener forecast coming up. Well, good morning. Outside right now, you can see we have some higher thin clouds out there. I do think that through the day today, we will be mainly cloudy. Right now, we have some peaks of sun. And then around noon, if you're walking around Wrigley Field, we're just talking temperatures close to 40 degrees. And yes, partly cloudy and then mainly cloudy through the game. Temperatures only make it into the low and mid 40s. And that's because wind is coming from the lake, keeping it a little bit on the chillier side for areas right along the lakeside, including Wrigley Field. Areas inland do make it into the low 50s through the day today. So a lakeside close to 46, inland spots close to 53. And we do have a few clouds around now. And I think through the morning we'll have some sun here and there, and then eventually it becomes mainly cloudy. Then we turn our attention to the chance for some severe weather as we go through the day tomorrow. So here's a look at the timeline to show you that we'll have some showers very early on in the morning. Maybe you run into a downpour for the morning commute tomorrow. And then as we head into the afternoon, we get 2 rounds of showers and thunderstorms. The first one between 1 and 3 p.m. Not too worried about these, but we will keep a very close eye on them as we go through the afternoon. And then the main line moves in around 5 to 7 p.m. That is around in the area up until about 11. A look at your 7-day forecast showing you that behind that system, we actually cool things off. It's windy and we do have some morning rain and snow showers. Roz?
We start with the big picture, and traffic is slow this morning, 45 minutes to an hour. Of course, that 1 hour travel time is going to be on the Kennedy in the construction zone and very, very reduced speeds. Now, not so much of a backup on the Edens, though. It doesn't really hit the brakes until you get right to the Kennedy Junction. But we do have other things to talk about, such as this reroute on the northwest side. The CTA is detouring the number 155 Devon Avenue buses around the intersection of Devon and Richmond. Chopper 7 is over that area right now, where we had a pretty nasty crash. They've got everything cleared and moved off to the shoulder, but at one point they were detouring traffic and then had limited lanes open. There's the vehicle. A lot of damage, front end damage done there. So traffic getting through, and hopefully they will continue to they'll get those CTA buses back on Devon Avenue pretty soon, since they do have all lanes open. We'll check it again in about 10 minutes. Val and Mark.
All right, Roz, thank you. The family of an 84-year-old woman killed in a crash involving a Chicago police cruiser has been awarded a nearly $5 million settlement. Verona Gunn was a passenger in that car when the unmarked police car collided with it back in 2019. The officer who caused the crash was stripped of police powers, but was allowed to stay on the force. That crash was captured on surveillance video, which we have stopped in the moments before the impact. 3 other people who were in the car also received money as part of that verdict. Testimony continues later today in the trial of the so-called ComEd 4. Yesterday, defense attorneys cross-examined the prosecution's star witness. The defense tried to discredit former ComEd executive Fidel Marquez, who admitted that initially he did not believe anyone from ComEd had committed a crime. The ComEd 4 are accused of trying to bribe former House Speaker Mike Madigan for favorable legislation. Defense attorneys argue the only thing their clients are guilty of is legal lobbying.
Eyewitness News, streaming at 7, continues after a break.
Hi, I'm Jason Knowles. Chicago speed cameras on the move. The ABC 7i team uncovers the camera's new locations and complaints from some who say the cameras can now catch people off guard. Plus, the deadly and serious crashes the city says prompted the changes. That's tonight at 10 on ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Happening today, the world's first holographic theater comes to downtown Chicago. Verse Immersive is opening up at Block 37 in the Loop after a successful 5-month run at Navy Pier. The theater offers immersive adventures that blend revolutionary technology and artistry.
We now have a reopening date for the popular Lagunitas tap room. This is on Chicago's west side in North Lawndale. The tap room has been closed for 3 years since the start of the pandemic. You can check out the inner workings of the brewery once again when it opens its doors again on April 13th.
Been there, it's so much fun. So I'm so glad they're reopening. Yeah, it's cool. Today, Cook County leaders celebrate the renewal of an affordable housing development in the south suburbs. They'll take part in a ribbon cutting this morning at South Suburban Housing in Harvey. All 120 apartments in the building were just renovated.
All good stuff for them. Right now, we're going to link up with our Good Morning America viewers. Tanya's going to have a news update. You'll see it here.
Now, an update from ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:23. I'm Tanya Babich. New this morning, Chicago police are investigating a string of robberies on Chicago's west side, most of them armed. Police say there were at least 5 incidents between 4 and 5 this morning. One was in the West Loop. The others were in the Westtown neighborhood. All of the incidents involved a group of male robbers who approached victims in at least one vehicle, described in most cases as a gray or silver sedan. The robbers displayed a firearm to most of the victims, and police say it's too early in their investigation to link all of the robberies. Nobody is in custody. Let's get a check of our ABC 7 AccuWeather forecast. Here's meteorologist Jaisol Martinez.
Good morning, Tanya. Temperatures today reaching into the low 50s. That's going to be for inland spots, so right along the lake, including for the Cubs home opener. Temperatures will get stuck in the low and mid 40s. Tomorrow, an AccuWeather alert day. We do have the chance to have severe storms. That main window between 5 and 11 p.m. for the day tomorrow. But before that, we do have another little round that moves in very early on between 1 and 2 p.m. into the afternoon. Behind that system on Saturday, we do have some rain and snow showers. It's windy, temperatures in the 40s. Then for the White Sox home opener, temperatures in the 50s. Roz will be back with traffic.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got a UP West delay. This is train number 30. It is running late delayed departure from the Elburn station because of manpower issues. It was supposed to leave at 7 o'clock, so that's a pretty lengthy delay. Delays are pretty consistent on the expressways, 40 to 50 minutes, even close to an hour on the Kennedy. We've got very reduced speeds through the construction zone, but traffic on the inbound Ike is slow too because of some sunshine delays, and traffic on DuSable Lakeshore Drive northbound backs up 67th to 57th in the work zone. Take a look at our tollway camera, the Tri-State at the 290. No delays on the tollways right now.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Time now 7:27. Check out that temperature. I think this might be the chilliest start of the week so far.
Yeah, 29, man.
But we're going to climb. Heisel Martinez is in for Tracy, and she's going to tell us just how much a little bit later. Well, the votes are in for the coolest thing made in Illinois.
Governor Pritzker announced the winner of the 2023 Makers Madness competition.
The coolest thing made in Illinois 2023, Rosenberg Moon Habitat Ingersoll Machine Tools, Inc.
Wow, look at this.
Right.
Ingersoll worked with a company in Switzerland to create a 3D habitat designed to house humans on the moon.
What?
Look at that. It's like all modular.
Here in Illinois?
That is so slick. Look at it. It's so interesting. And it's got little windows in there too. And look, it's 3D printed, and this is the big 3D printer that's making it. That is so cool. Wow.
I don't know.
Congrats to them. That's amazing.
I smell a more in-depth story.
I think we should. Absolutely. Let's go. I need to go talk to them. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, that it really is cool. And congratulations to them, too.
Seriously.
Great idea. Coming up this morning, baseball is back, and both Chicago baseball teams are set to start their new seasons today.
And Chicago's mayoral candidates are taking their push for more voters down to the wire.
Plus, an update on Pope Francis's condition as Cardinal Blaise Cupich calls on people to pray for the pontiff.
You're watching ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
Now at 7:30, taking a look at the morning's top story, Chicago Cardinal Blaise Cupich is asking people to pray for Pope Francis. The Vatican says the 86-year-old pontiff is in the hospital due to a lung infection. He is expected to be there several days, and Cardinal Blaise Cupich tells us that he wouldn't rule out the possibility of Pope Francis still observing Palm Sunday services at the Vatican this weekend.
All right, Chicago will elect, as you see here, its next mayor in less than a week. Brendan Johnson and Paul Vallis are both making a final push to meet with voters across the city before they head to the polls April 4th. Tonight, the men will meet once again at another forum this evening at the University of Chicago.
It is opening day for both Chicago baseball teams, and the Cubs are playing at home. Fans are excited for the year to come, too, because the Cubs take on the Milwaukee Brewers at 1:20 this afternoon, and the Sox play in Houston tonight. And you guys had a fun fact on the news earlier today, where this is the first time since 1968 that all
MLB teams
have an opening day on the same day?
They're all playing at the same time.
And
that is so neat, right? It kind of like unites every city across the country.
I didn't even realize that hadn't been the case.
I know, I didn't realize it either, but it's like, what a great way to get everything started. That's so cool. And good morning to you. Welcome back. I'm Mark Rivera.
And I'm Val Warner. Good to be with you this morning. Let's send it over to Haisel Martinez to see if we're going to climb those temperatures just a wee bit.
Little by little, we will climb a bit here this morning. Right now, though, it is cold as you step out the door. The lakefront at 29 degrees, Waukegan at 30, Yorkville 27 right now, Gary and Crown Point at 27 degrees as well. We did have a little bit of sunshine very early on, but now we do have some cloud cover around, and we'll be in and out of clouds this morning and then eventually becoming mainly cloudy later today. Temperatures do eventually reach into the low 50s, and that's going to be for our inland spots because we do have a breeze coming in from the lake. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler right along the lake into the 40s. Tomorrow, we're talking an AccuWeather alert day. We do have some rain and the potential to have some strong to severe storms on Friday. Saturday, temperatures will be into the 40s. Ross?
We start in Northwest Indiana. We've had this crash on eastbound 8094 at Calumet Avenue for a while. It's been on the right shoulder. It still is. Here's the snapshot from the INDOT website, and there it is on the right shoulder, but everybody's staring at it. So we have delays that start at Torrance on the Illinois side. And on the Illinois side, travel times ranging 50 minutes to an hour. Nothing really out of the ordinary for this time in the morning. But we do have one suburban crash. We're keeping an eye on this in Libertyville. It's on westbound 176 near Butterfield Road. It is causing a bit of a delay in both directions. Now, our tollways are in great shape this morning, even in the construction zone. Take a look at the Tri-State at LaGrange Road, the mile-long bridge area, and everything's moving. That is the northbound traffic with the tail lights, so it's a little heavier, but southbound traffic, barely any traffic there. Val and Mark, it's easy on the tollways this morning.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Like to see that.
Somewhere.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, Ross, thank you. Come on over to today's Talkers. A New Year's Day nightmare has turned into a tale of triumph.
Yes, we're talking about Jeremy Renner, the actor. He talked to ABC News anchor Diane Sawyer in an exclusive interview, the first one since his life-threatening accident, and we got a sneak peek. Renner was run over by his own 7-ton snowplow trying to save his nephew's life. Renner was critically injured, breaking more than 30 bones and puncturing a lung. You see that image of him in the hospital and one here after he started to recover. He opened up to Diane Sawyer about the harrowing details, the critical hours that followed, and a behind-the-scenes look at his recovery.
8 ribs broken in 14 places. Yeah. Right knee, right ankle broken, left leg tibia broken, the left ankle broken, right clavicle broken, right shoulder broken, face eye socket, the jaw, the mandible broken, lung collapsed, pierced from the rib bone, your liver, which sounds terrifying.
Yeah. I'd do it again.
You'd do it again?
Yeah, I'd do it again. Because it's going right at my nephew.
Oh my gosh, that is just incredible. And you see his adult nephew there. He also spoke to Diane Sawyer, and we're going to hear from him too. But the special also features interviews with Renner's family members, including that nephew, as I mentioned, that he was trying to protect, and the first responders that saved his life.
This is unbelievable. I think when you hear Diane Sawyer name off every single bone that he broke in his body, this interview, the story of terror, survival, and triumph, it will air Thursday, April 6th. So that is a week from today, right? Right here on ABC 7. Check the times. And the next day, Friday the 7th on Hulu.
Just incredible. Wow. Okay. Cannot wait to see that.
Yeah.
And you're right, Roz.
He looks amazing.
He does look incredible after all that.
Yeah.
In a really short period.
That just happened on New Year's Day, right?
Right. This is 3 months later, and he looks like
nothing
normal
happened.
Jeremy Renner. You know.
I wonder how he's walking. I mean, we did see him on the treadmill during his therapy.
It looks a little different,
yeah.
but obviously a long road to recovery after all of those injuries. But
so
incredible
much of
work.
that has to do with attitude.
Yes.
Yeah. You know?
Oh, your will. And your will to fight and recover.
Will.
Yes.
Yeah, and he said he'll do it all over. He would do it again because it was heading towards his nephew. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now turning to a trick to connect with your kids in 5 seconds. One doctor has shared some parenting insight that she claims can deliver a major payoff for families. Let's listen.
I want you to go up to your kid, okay, and say this to them today. It can be really hard to be a kid, right? Okay, that's it. That's it. Watch again. You know what I'm thinking about? It can be really hard to be a kid. Ugh. Yeah, that is the entire intervention. Why does that have such big payoff? You are seeing the world from their perspective. You are connecting to a reality that very few adults actively name for them. And as you connect and as you validate, you're helping your kid feel seen. And when kids feel seen, their behavior improves across the board.
Heck, when adults feel seen, their behavior improves.
That is so true. That is so
I
true.
was just going to say that makes so much sense because
Yes.
it's not always about us.
Right. Totally.
It's about the other person.
Right, and how they're feeling, right? And how they're feeling. Dr. Becky Kennedy claims that connecting with kids on that level can make them trust you more and even help with bad behavior. And it also tells children that life is complicated and that we know that even for kids, and that's okay and that's normal.
I don't know about any of you guys, but would you even want to be a kid in today's world?
Hell no.
I don't know. I don't know.
Right?
I mean, it's
With
tough.
social media, the pressures to keep up. I mean, it's just a lot.
Yeah, my friend has an 8-year-old and she's really been, starting to get a little bit of an attitude. And I want to send her
It
that
starts
video.
early.
I want to send her that video because I think you got to take a step back and
You should.
remember what it was like to be a kid, and you did feel like no one understood you. So.
And it opens up a dialogue, and I think that's the coolest thing too, is that you actually get to talk with your kid sort of on their level and on their terms. So
Instead
yeah,
of
it's
going
good.
straight to the punishment, you can be like, I know that it's hard to be a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right about the dialogue and the communication. One of the things that I used to do with Sarah when she was like 3-4 years old, we would go Friday night to movies that had just opened.
Yeah.
We'd go out to dinner afterwards, and we would talk about it.
Yeah.
There's this 3-year-old kid telling me what she liked about, what she didn't like, what they could have done better at 3-4 years old.
Right.
But I treated her like an equal.
Yes, totally.
And that's all what this is about.
Absolutely.
Understanding.
And connect and taking the time to connect with her, right? And have that conversation and critical thinking and all that stuff. It's only good things when you talk to your kids like that,
Seriously.
Seriously, so that's
You
great.
reminded me, like, even when you describe your conversation with Sarah, it's like you were raising an adult even at 3. And I'm reminded of when I interviewed Michelle Obama, that's one thing that she credits her mother. She said her mother said, I am raising 2 adults. So she often had those kind of conversations and dialogues with her son and her daughter. And they turned out all right.
Yeah, pretty much.
You think? Yeah, I think they did okay.
I think they did all right. Yep.
Not bad for themselves at all.
Not bad.
It's cool to see the consequences, though, afterwards as she is a young adult now, and to see that all kind of worked out.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. So cool.
All right. Well, how about ramen noodles for breakfast? Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay, hear me out.
I've had ramen for
With
breakfast.
the rising prices of eggs and other breakfast staples, some might actually be looking for a cheaper breakfast option. So a cup of noodles has created a breakfast version of their instant ramen. It takes about 4 minutes to cook in a microwave. It blends the flavors of sausage, maple syrup, pancakes, and eggs into a saucy mix. The soup-based ramen also contains visible ingredients of sausage and eggs. It is affordable. It's only going to sell for $1.39.
Well, okay, why is
the
visible ingredients in quotes in the prompter? It's from the company. That's why. It's
Yeah.
from the company. The visible ingredients of what you're eating. That's
What
good
are
to
those
see.
visible ingredients?
Exactly.
Really?
Well,
Are
here's the
they
thing.
really?
Like I
like
rather
them?
than doing like a sweet savory noodle thing for breakfast, I would just do regular ramen, regular ramen for breakfast. That's a good breakfast,
It's a great
and it's
breakfast.
still cheap. So
We were just talking about ramen in the family the other day because my mother has been zhuzhing hers up, right? So
Oh,
she's
really?
been putting carrots and cabbage and Brussels sprouts in
like that.
just the regular ramen.
Good for her. Making good soup.
Yes, I mean, okay,
I just
so
don't want it to taste like maple syrup.
Yeah, no, that's
Not
you don't
maple
want your
syrup.
soup to taste like, no.
not like
agree.
not maple syrup. No way. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but did you guys survive on ramen in college?
Definitely.
All right.
See, the maple syrup thing reminds me of Buddy the Elf. And like putting syrup on spaghetti, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like what that reminds me of.
All righty. ABC 7 Eyewitness News continues streaming out loud after the break. We're back in 90 seconds.
Welcome back. Taking a live look over the city right now. Yeah, you see a little bit of chop on the water. Not too bad, but the sun is up. A cool start for us for sure.
I'd say chilly, cold, but I'm looking forward to the 50s, or am I off?
So yes, 50s for our inland spots, but if you're right along the lake, so at Wrigley Field for the Cubs home opener, we are talking temperatures in the 40s through a lot of the afternoon. And again, that's because the wind is coming from the lake. Temperatures only reaching into the mid 40s through the day today for that home opener. So if you are going, make sure you layer up. The lakeside close to 46, and then Val, yes, inland close to 53 degrees. There's a warm front lifting through the area, and with that, we'll have lots of clouds around through the day and some sprinkles as well as that warm front gets closer to us throughout the day today. That warm front sets us up for the chance for severe weather as we go into the day tomorrow. Now our southwest suburbs are under the 3 out of 5 severe risk here through the day tomorrow, and I do think that we have the chance to have damaging wind gusts, hail, and we can't rule out the chance for rain-wrapped tornadoes with these storms coming in. So for tomorrow, for the commute, you might have a few showers around, maybe a downpour or two. And then as we head into the afternoon, we'll get our first round of showers and thunderstorms entering the area between 1 and 3 p.m. This round, we're not too concerned with, but we're going to keep a very close eye on these. And then as we head into the evening hours, this is a line that we're concerned with. That threat is out of here, though, by about 11 p.m. Roz?
We're looking at some delays. A couple of trains now on the Union Pacific West line, number 30 and now number 32 has not left Elburn yet. It was supposed to depart at 7:25. They've been having some crew shortage issues, so we're going to see those delays on that particular metro line. On the expressways, we're holding at about 50 minutes to an hour on most of your inbound commutes. Things not as bad coming in on the Ryan, and the Edens is actually surprisingly calm this morning. Just a little bit of a slowdown as you merge in right at the Kennedy. The Kennedy, of course, has the 1 hour travel time going through the construction zone. Very reduced speeds, as you can see, all the way through it down to about Chicago Avenue. Now we can take a look at our tollway camera. I was kind of looking around. This is the Tri-State at the mile long, and I do see some police activity there. It appears the right shoulder. I'm not sure if this is a traffic stop or if it's a minor crash. It's causing just a little bit of a slowdown right there around LaGrange Road. So keep that in mind if that's your normal route. But most of the tollways are in pretty good shape this morning. Val and Mark.
Okay, and we will take that. Thank you, Roz. Now to a story about spring shopping.
Yeah, most people hate to miss a chance to spruce up their closet lineup, and not to mention miss a good deal. ABC's Alexis Christophorus has more on what bargains to look out for this spring season.
Spring has sprung. That means spending more time outdoors, seeing the sights, and shopping. Every season brings its own deals, and spring is no exception. Kristen McGrath, senior editor at Retail Me Not, has some tips on when to look for the best deals for spring. She says that travel providers offer good discounts on last-minute inventory.
Some of the sweet spots are going to be cruise cabins, hotels, tours, anything that is unsold and needs to be sold. A big exception to that is going to be Easter week or any local school spring break week. Those are peak travel times, so stay away from those if you want to save the most.
When looking for appliances, McGrath says a good time for bargains is around Earth Day, April 22nd.
We generally see some pretty good discounts, 20% off in some cases, if you're buying those Energy Star rated appliances, because retailers are tapping into the enthusiasm around Earth Day.
If you're in the market for electronics like computers or televisions, McGrath says that when retailers switch to a new model year, they start discounting the previous year's models.
Another really strategic time to shop for TVs is right around Memorial Day. You're going to find big discounts on those bigger ticket electronics.
Cookware and home goods really go on sale around Mother's Day and school graduations.
Retailers are competing for business, so you will start seeing those gifts on sale marketed towards gifts for mom or gifts for the recent graduate.
And when it comes to spring clothes, McGrath says the best time to shop is when retailers are switching over from spring to summer.
Late April and May is when they're making way for summer clothing on the racks, but the selection on the spring stuff is still going to be pretty good. So you're going to still have a lot of sizes and colors available, and that stuff is going to be on sale.
Alexis Christophorus, ABC News, New York.
I don't know that I'm really interested in spring shopping. I'm ready to spring clean the garage.
Oh, see, we need to spring clean like the kitchen.
The kitchen?
The
Oh,
kitchen.
really?
Yes, we need to we need to reorganize like the pantry and everything else, and just sort of get everything in order. So
I feel like I
that's
keep
on our
that up
list.
year round.
Do you?
Yeah, but then I don't spend a lot of time in the kitchen either. The garage is a hot mess right now.
Oh my
It
gosh,
needs
that's
some
funny.
definite attention.
Well, that's all good. Yeah, whether you're shopping or you're spring cleaning, it's all good. At least
Happy
it's spring.
spring.
Exactly. We'll be right back after a short break.
Welcome back. This is new.
Yeah, an update now on a young dolphin who was rescued last year from Texas. Ranger, an orphaned male, had to be airlifted to the Florida Keys after he was found suffering from a respiratory infection and dehydration. The bottlenose dolphin was found near his dead mother and was deemed too young to survive in the wild. But there is good news. Ranger was placed at the Dolphin Research Center in Florida, and he is now thriving. Look at Ranger. His caretakers say he's fully adapted to a new family and has friends he plays with.
Oh, look at that. You know how social dolphins are too, and they love family.
They're absolutely social creatures. They're talking all the time with their squeaks, and just incredible to see. You know?
Ranger's adorable.
Super adorable, and just so great that he was rescued and able to be thriving after a really tough start.
Would you ever swim with the dolphins?
Absolutely, I'd swim with dolphins. Yes. Well, when I worked in Florida, I did a couple of dolphin stories. Never got to swim with them, but it was always such a blast to go to like the Clearwater Aquarium and see them and all the work that they're doing to rehab them. It's really, really neat.
I think we need to put that in your future. That's
I'm
gonna
down
be your
for that.
I'd be too nervous.
Nervous? Why?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Well, first of all, I'm scared of water, but so that we got to start there. Never
Number
mind
one,
the dolphins.
scared of water.
Yeah, I love the dolphins, but just nervous about the water. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
All right, we're talking about water still and swimming and overcoming fears and jet skiing. But anyway, welcome back, everybody. An eagle in Missouri is demonstrating great dad skills, except he's trying to hatch a rock rather than an egg.
Oh, poor eagle. Gene Moose reports that experts are blaming springtime hormones.
No wonder Murphy the eagle looks like he's sitting on a secret. He is. Instead of incubating an egg, Murphy's incubating a rock. How is he behaving with the rock?
He's very protective of the rock.
He squawks when another eagle lands on a branch above the nest Murphy built on the ground. He was injured as a chick and can't fly, which is why he's here at the World Bird Sanctuary outside St. Louis, Missouri.
And he just seems very content with his rock.
A keeper shot this video after first noticing Murphy acting unusually guarded about a rock in the middle of a nest. Normally, eagle parents turn their eggs every few hours, and Murphy can be seen nudging his rock. He settles down to keep it warm. It takes about 35 days for an eagle egg to hatch. Will he be sitting there for like a month?
Possibly. He might sit there for a little bit longer just to, because it hasn't hatched.
People are smitten with Murphy's dad skills, but feel bad that he's incubating a dud. Someone proposed naming the rock Dwayne the Rock after you-know-who. Another suggested the sanctuary swap the rock with a chick.
For what reason? He's very attached to his rock.
A fertilized eagle egg would be hard to come by, and if they slipped in, say, a goose egg, who knows how Murphy might react. The sanctuary CEO says birds whose eggs don't hatch properly tend not to show signs of being depressed. So when you joke, who's gonna tell him?
Yeah. I don't think anybody has to tell him. I think he'll figure it out.
Humans went through a pet rock phase. Why can't Murphy? Jeannie Mose, New York.
I too feel bad that he's, incubating the rock, but it is sort of adorable to see.
It's adorable and sad at the same time.
Right, and the expert's like, I guess he'll figure it out after a while.
I guess so. Oh my gosh. I know. Well,
heartbroken.
For Isol and Roz, I'm Mark Rivera.
And I'm Val Warner. Thanks so much for watching Eyewitness News at 7 a.m. Have a great day.